Well, this was it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, someone's put a garden.
It's very much like the modern world. It's all become more aesthetically pleasing, supposedly, but not as entertaining.
Not as much fun. The fun's gone from it, really, hasn't it? But yeah, I remember. Well, the step came out further to about here, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was. That's
and
right.
Then,
was many happy hours went.
Did you have the Tonka roller? I remember that. You used to make this beautiful path.
I had the Tonka Digger.
Yes,
which came in about 1976 or 77, because I remember at school everybody was talking ages before Christmas about this big digger in Cowgill's window in Clitheroe, and I never thought anything about it. Anyway, I think we were getting nearer Christmas, and one Tuesday I went shopping with Granny and my mother, and the idea was Granny was going to take me to Cowgill's to see what I might like for Christmas. So I went in and selected whatever it was going to be for Christmas. I can't even remember what it was. But when the great day arrived, this Tonka Digger was there. So I sort of got the star prize, which was fantastic. I've kept it.
Oh, you still got it? Excellent.
Yeah, I've still got it. It's probably ready for retired. There are other toys around nowadays, rather than Tonka toys like this one.
Slightly larger ones.
Yeah, slightly more expensive, probably.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's just... So that's Keith's little toy. What's he got in there then? Has he got a bit of grain?
It'll be either maize gluten, I think, probably there, or we have got some rolled barley at the moment. I think it's maize gluten.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's maize gluten. We're feeding it with some rolled barley this time as well. Then, of course, we moved on to bigger toys, and I can remember learning to bike up and down here, because we got a chipper, a yellow bike, but it was too big. It was too big for me to get my feet on the floor. So one summer they took the seat off it and rolled up a bag, a sack, a feed sack.
Oh right, yeah,
to make it low enough for me to get up and down on. And so I whizzed up and down here. Very entertaining.
Well, yeah, because I think the first time I came off a bike and went into Nettles was on here.
Yes, probably.
Yeah, I think I'd come down here and somehow just did like a break, like a skid, which was really quite good fun, and then flew over, and this was just out here with Nettles, and it looked like I'd got measles but white.
Well, the thing was, you see, we lived here, there, then the big Auntie Dot would live there, Great Auntie Dot lived there, Great Auntie Helen lived next door here, and they were all kind of right around you, because I can remember walking down here with Auntie Dot when I was about 3 or 4. And she was telling me that when she was my age, which bear in mind she was born in 1903, would have been sort of 1906, and it was quite muddy, but they got some stuff out of Castle Castings in the 50s or whatever and made the tarry into a better
I remember the bits of metal that used to be part of it.
Well, there used to be a great place of entertainment in the back tarry, because he used to come down, and George Durden would come down with his wagon to about there, and then he'd let us climb on the back of it and ride down here. And it seemed like a massive wagon at the time, but probably
was huge, wasn't it, for us?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And there used to be a stile here.
They did, and you could go down to the out barn, our out barn down that way.
Because I remember there used to be like a diagonal bare bit where people walked across.
Yeah, I can remember many times going down there. I also remember coming down here when they were getting a bonfire ready one year. And then also, what people were doing, they were flying a kite round and round, and the idea was to get it kind of low, and we'd all stand round. This was where the wagon used to get packed up.
He used to have the cars there as well, didn't he? He had two Cortinas, I think. It was a Mark.
Yeah, they were like big old style cars, weren't they? Yeah. But George Durden always lived on mushrooms and all sorts of things. He had like lots of stuff that he would kind of half live off the land with.
Oh, heavens. Well, I never actually knew what George Durden did.
Well,
was he a coal man?
drove for Ashcrofts, I think.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think he was feed, but well, I don't know. He might have done different things.
Well, I suppose you've got a van. You're a man with a van, aren't you? So, or a bloke with a truck.
But that was it was a much more kind of working village, if you could put it that way, at the time, where there were more people in employment. Nowadays, there's more people kind of retired.
Home, isn't it? Yeah. I mean,
I
think how many times I've filled this barn with hay. It just gets a bit boring when I walk around the village, because I filled that with hay, filled that with... I think on yours we...
I think the last time I really remember everybody haymaking, we went as a silage quite early, but it would have been about 1989 when Robinsons was still doing it and various other people, and then after that it kind of got down to fewer people around. Bales came in and all sorts of other things altered.
Because I think the regulars are really Edwards, Phyllis's, and Robinson's occasionally. We did these This barn here, quite a lot. Although they were pretty infrequent, But JC did it for a long time as well.
Yes.
Never did Whitwell's, actually. Never went up there. But there's more Whitwells and
Well,
ants.
yeah. I can remember going to help George Whittaker once, twice, when I'd be about 16 by then.
Well, I went to... Or was it John in Whistle? John Whittaker, was it?
Oh, John Wood.
John
Yeah.
Wood. He had one of those hooks.
All right.
The ones where you put your fingers to go like that. So when you're passing the bale up, you're thinking, I'm going to get impaled here.
I can remember, I think Niggs Breer, they had one of those at times. They used to deliver straw. And I can always remember, it always seemed to be about Christmas, we were often getting, when I wasn't very old, we were getting loads of straw. And I can remember one Christmas Eve having the excitement of driving back to West Bradford in the cab of this wagon with these two. I don't know why I was going back that way, but anyway, for whatever reason, we did that. So that was quite entertaining.
Oh, wow. Well, this is one of the newest places in the village, I guess, is it?
Well, I think there's a coin on the side of the house here. I think it says 1971. I'm pretty sure I remember that somewhere up there at one time, if it's still there.
So, Michael didn't have it built then. It was here before. Whoa!
I think they'd be the first residents, yeah. Well, we used to play cricket, didn't we, in that field down there at one time.
Oh, yeah.
And they also played it down at the out barn at the croft, in the croft down there.
Yeah, is that where the roller ended up? Because I remember the roller.
It was there for a while, and then I don't know what happened to that, yeah.
Someone half-inched that, didn't they?
I remember the scoreboard. It's a long time ago, nearly as long as it was since England last won a test in Australia, which they have managed today, I think. And first time in about 15 years.
Well, what's happened with that? I haven't seen the score today.
England won. I didn't.
26 wickets
It's
on day one.
finished within 2 days again. But it's the first time they've won in about 15 years.
Because they were invincible on the second. 2005 over here we won, and then the next one was a drubbing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We
Was it Vaughan got two massive centuries?
We got hammered. And then.
Here we go. So me and Mum were struggling to remember which order the Whitwells lived in around here. We had Keith was in the end one, wasn't he? And Harry was in the middle one.
Well, I can remember when I was first growing up, the Auntie Alice and Uncle Gordon lived in one of them. And I can remember coming down, because I think I borrowed a shirt for playing Wee Willie Winky or something.
Oh, right.
In one of those village hall events.
Because, that was Mary's, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember who was this one.
I know Keith and Harry lived here for a long time when I seemed to do. At one stage.
But before that, I think we just got Paxo the Rooster Boost. Mrs. Jackson was in this one.
Yeah. Her first name was Anastasia, I think.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was. But of course, quite often when you're growing up, you only know people by the names people give them. I mean, I was just thinking earlier, probably said before, but Mrs. Oddie lived on the end of Rock Terrace.
Yeah.
And I knew Mrs. Oddie, and but it wasn't unusual to hear about people you never met, because Granny would go to things like the luncheon club and all this sort of thing, and you'd hear about people. And the other thing that was confusing was they always tended to call people by their maiden name, which they hadn't used since they got married in 1926, just to make it even more confusing. And here's a car. And she would occasionally talk about somebody called Edie Mack, who I didn't think anything about, because just somebody you heard of now and again, but had never actually met. And she'd seen Edie Mack on the Wiswell Road occasionally, but I never. And I think I would be about 25 before I realised that Edie Mack and Miss Oddie and Mrs. Oddie were one and the same person.
I mean, Edie. Well, she was always grand to us. Just seemed to be.
Well, there was Florence Hudson next door, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And she always used to go around with a sort of pram that she collected wood in for, obviously, for heating. And despite the fact that she looked like an old... Well, she was probably an old lady by then.
Are we coming?
It's full in as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think... I'd seen either Stephen or Jackie Scott when I was not that old, maybe about 15 or 16, and jokingly said when they said, "Oh, it's Florence," she said, "Oh, she's dead," and she wasn't at all.
All right.
I don't know why I said it. It was just one of those silly jokes I'd said, and the entire Blessed fraternity thought that Florence was dead, and I think Brian had seen her.
All right.
Bloody hell! She's back from the dead.
It makes you wonder.
Oh
I
God!
can remember swimming on the bottom bridge when it was all dammed up at the bottom.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Well, it's a bit daring this with the wind, but it should be okay. But it did come all the way through, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Really.
It did. You could
remember
swim
the
on
far end was like almost at the top, wasn't it?
It wasn't very hot. But the brook ended up being the position for doing lots of civil engineering. Dams were quite a common thing to be built, and all sorts of other things. I can remember doing something. I was on my own one day at the bottom, and it must have been summer because there was a lady and her daughter came along, and they'd obviously been picking strawberries or something. And the lady said to her daughter, "Why don't you go across there and ask that little boy if he'd like some of your strawberries?" And I would have been all of about 3 or 4 at the time. Remember thinking to myself, "I am not a little boy." Oh dear!
Oh, look at that!
Yeah,
It's not
See
see
right
through
under?
there. Yeah,
goodness, the wonders of modern technology.
I know. Well, it's having a diagonal bridge as well. It's it's very advanced engineering for a small village.
There are pictures of it before it's got railings, aren't there? When it's
just
kind
a board,
of open.
isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's why I think the Fiddle Bridge was moved at the top, wasn't it? When they must have put the railings in, I presume. Because Granny was always taking, not always, but now and again we'd have a walk down below Standing Hall and look where it
And
was.
the legendary pipe.
Yes, I can remember walking across it. I never remember falling off it, and I'm sure I would have done if I had fallen off it, because I think it would have hurt.
Well, it's probably an extra 18 inches drop now, because if you think about it, the stone at the sides where it all used to be, isn't it?
Yeah. I do remember crashing into that stone at the end of the bottom bridge on the roadside when we were going around on our bikes and coming over the handlebars. We were probably racing round at the time.
Yeah, this one here.
Yeah, it's just stuck out that little bit. Anyway, I must have just mistimed it. Either that or I was taking the racing line.
Yes, I think you've been watching the Grand Prix of it.
Just following it, yeah. James Hunt
Well,
said
we had a phase of lapping around the bottom bridge and the middle bridge, and it's amazing how fast you dare go into the middle bridge when you see how narrow it is.
Well, no. But scooters were quite popular at one time. They're back again nowadays, it seems. But they were all
batteries now,
around.
haven't they?
Then the old barn. Now, who was I talking to? And she remembered it being a barn, and they were a few years older than us at school. But I don't really remember that.
No, it always had. Was it Gordon's family?
It changed. Yes, Gordon's. He was quite an interesting chap. He'd been captain of a frigate during the war, I think.
Oh, right.
And he worked for Lonro, the Rhodesian mining firm, because they came from Rhodesia when it was still Rhodesia.
Oh, right.
Because Mrs. Gordon was in the choir. And then he had a bit of a heart murmur one day, and they sort of came and took his briefcase away, and that was it. You know, they wouldn't
Oh, right. So
didn't do any more.
I think one of them was quite a good cricketer, one of the sons, and he played for the team.
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me.
How's this got so big in the middle?
Well, I don't think they're allowed to tidy it up now.
Is it-
You can tidy it up, but you can't kind of dig it out. I mean, the council used to come with a digger, didn't they? And
Yeah.
about half a morning, they cleaned the brook out.
The whole brook was
Kept it right.
It
But
looks a
now,
bit like
now
a
a lot of
canal.
the sets are going because it's just kind of stuck like that.
Yeah. Ah.
But it's got a lot deeper, yeah.
Well, they used to be. Oh, that's where the little waterfall used to be, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it used to be able to sort of tackle fish under there.
Hello, you all right?
They used to be able to tickle trout under there. I can't remember tickling. I can remember trying, but I didn't have much success.
I never got one, I must admit.
I do remember we had, I think Susan and Lynn were staying, my cousins, Sue and Lynn, I should say, and they were at St. Spring House, and Grandad had us sat in there with a sort of washing up bowl with her feet in it, and then after dinner he said, I'll come up the brook with you. So I don't know what age he was by then, but he set off up the brook with us, and we paddled up under the bridge. And then he just put his hand down and in a second pulled out this trout, which was quite a shock, really. We weren't expecting it at all. And then he said, well, I don't think I've been under here for 70 years. He said there was always a good fish under that stone. So, yeah. You've got to take your hat off to this previous local experience and knowledge.
Well, yeah. He'd done his apprenticeship, I suppose, by then.
Yes. Yeah. You know, they always told me there were more fish in the brook though when everybody's washing up. Water came out and straight into the brook than there were subsequently. But then they say there's no fish in the brook. But when you look how many herons there are around, they can't be living on nothing.
Well, no. They'd move away, wouldn't they? I called.
I can hardly see it. But no, I do remember. You see, you used to come up back from Young Farmers and walk up the road there, and then suddenly a voice started talking to you out of the garden, and you wouldn't see anything other than blackness, and it would be Florence, and then occasionally there'd be a dull red glow as she took a draw on a cigarette.
You could see the reflection of red in the glasses. Yeah.
It was like, not quite the burning bush, but it was.
Well, I think they've quite wisely sort of let the foliage grow so you can't see in it as much. You know, it's a bit more. You couldn't go in that front bit without it. I mean, just talking to them.
No, I don't think anybody.
You can get past.
You always got the impression you were being interviewed.
Let's get it away from the brook, I think. Just in case it drops out of the sky.
Well,
Right.
there's a lot more Christmas lights about than there ever used to be.
Well, yeah. It's 3 days of actual bits of sunshine going on as well, which is quite a miracle.
Well, I was looking at Pendle before, and it's sometimes you can get some quite good views of it in the winter.
I got some panoramic shots for this yesterday. Obviously, just as the sun went behind the cloud, you know.
Yeah.
And it was really cold.
Well, I was looking at, as you do, Pendleton's entering the Domesday book in a translation the other night. Peniltune in the Domesday book.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Peniltune. Well, that's how it's written. But I think if you look at it, Pendleton, it's a bit like Ingleton. It's kind of the name goes with the hill, and then you get the ton bit, and they're nearly always sat on the southwestern slopes of the hills.
Oh,
and I think it's because if you were the original settlers, you'd position yourself agriculturally. You'd position yourself on the southwest slopes.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be in the bottom of the valley where it was all boggy, and you wouldn't be on the top of the hill either. But you might go somewhere.
Yeah. So the water's free flowing and going through rather than sticking around.
You know, you'd leave the northern end till later on. That's the Fiddle Bridge, of course.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. So it was brought here in
2000.
2000
the WI
right?
did it. Well, it was quite. I think Granny was quite involved in. Sort of.
So I've flown over Standon in the last year or so, and the brook is pretty much a big feature of the garden there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of these things do tend to be used as features, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a pond and everything, so. But I mean, the wheelbarrow's quite a nice touch, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, not got quite the growth of colour in it. That was a while ago. That used to just sit across from the gimble, really, down there. But in the days.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah, it was slightly further down than where the top bridge is, I think.
Okay.
I think there's a picture of some people stood on it or behind it or something at one time when it was still in place. Apparently they'd moved it with tripods, you know, like three-legged, to get it to lift the thing, and it was just carted away, literally, and it stayed there ever after.
That's right,
that's just how it was. So it was
it's an interesting shape, isn't it? I mean, it does look like a fiddle from this angle.
Well, I think it was Oxford archaeology or something came to look at it years ago, and they said it's been a standing stone because they were arguing that you can tell it's been upright for so long because of the way the water's run down the side of it.
Oh, okay.
So they thought there'd probably be others, but I'm told there was a stone just up at the Onfolds end. There was one apparently in the 60s that was removed before they put the present wooden bridge in, and the council were about 3 days breaking it up before they could take it away. So whether that's the fate of one of the other ones or not, we'll never know, probably.
It was a different time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it seems a long time ago, but it probably isn't.
Let's knock down those pesky Stonehenge stones.
Well, I went to the crib service on Christmas Eve for the first time in about, I don't know how long, decades. And it was quite entertaining. And Julie was saying, you know, how who can remember doing this as a child? And I remember being called out to, the vicar came down the aisle and I was picked out to place the baby Jesus in the manger.
Oh, it's quite an honour.
And yes. It was Christmas 1975, which you suddenly realise is 50 years ago, you know.
God.
But there's a picture at the back of the church actually where the choir stalls were showing picturing us there. I think there's some of the people from school were there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the job of I think it was the carol lyrics or something like that. John Cole had started using transparencies towards the end of his tenure.
Yeah.
And because I was probably the mature age of about 8 by the start.
I can remember doing the Rogation Sunday sort of events where, well, especially when I was in the choir, and we used to sort of go up there and line up at either side of the garden path, as it were, and sing a hymn.
Yeah, it was this big, grand old place just for one old battle axe to rattle around.
Yeah, it's almost as if people got into sort of competitive house building or something. You built one there, I'm going to build one here, kind of thing. But anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, most of the farmhouses are nice and sort of. Well, yours is more long than tall.
Well, I think it's what's called the Pennine Longhouse, where they're all about 16 feet wide, because I think that was the average length of the timber they could work on getting to make them. So the beams were always that kind of size.
Yeah.
There was up at Long Preston. I was reading a thing. The abbot, not the abbots. It was the what we call Bolton Abbey. It was a priory, and the last prior was Prior Moon of the Cat and the Fiddle fame, where he'd had a dispute with a lady, and that's how the thing came about. But they've got some timber-built houses, not timber-built houses, but timber in the houses that were built at Long Preston, and they have actually carbon dated them, or whatever they do with these things, and they do go back to like the 1520s, 1530s from Bolton Abbey estate.
Oh wow!
So they were obviously using their own timber, which they would do, but it's not long, obviously, before the sort of dissolution of the monasteries.
Yeah.
Just a few years later. So it's down there that the stone would have been, I presume. But I think that's where the well was at one time, wasn't it, for the village?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think that's where they used to get the water from in the days before sort of pipe water supply. And then I think it came from Merely Moor until the 50s or whatever, when they put a kind of mains in. But everybody said the water was better on the previous supply. But then people do tend to always decide it was years ago, don't they? So you can't,
obviously,
you can't win. Yeah, and that field is the Onfolds, which is always good for sledging at this time of year, especially.
Well, I was chatting with Phil about this the other day. I think there's a more famous field in the village than this one, is there really? I mean,
well, it was an all-rounder really, because you could sledge in it and go up and play in the Dean and all that kind of thing, and it was just...
I remember playing Hare and Hounds, which I think Ian Gelder devised, where you had hares and hounds split up, and the hares had to go and hide in the bracken in the Dean.
Right, yeah.
And then the hounds, who tended to be Ian and all the people who liked to
this
run and hit you.
This is in the days before anybody had noticed that it was all supposedly carcinogenic, all this rushes, wasn't it? Not rushes, bracken, I mean.
And here's a proper style look.
Oh, yes. Oh, we can go through the style, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Yep. Oh, you can demonstrate. Yeah. Oh,
it is mentioned as this field, actually, in the, I think is it Jessica Lofthouse's History of Lancashire or something?
It's what, sorry?
Jessica Lofthouse, an author, used to do histories of Lancashire or whatever, and I think it's mentioned as, I think she calls it Slinger's Uphills or something, but anyway, whatever it is. I'd have to look it up. I was...
So what's this thing do?
This is an aerator.
Oh, so that's weight on the top, is it?
And the barrels of the weights, yeah.
Ah!
It's a fantastic machine. You'd be amazed how much it improves things. But sometimes in the spring, it's really just used to break up the soil structure a bit and let it become a bit more friable, so you get a better distribution of nutrients. And it's quite...
so it goes in, what, 2 or 3 inches?
They're just slits, yeah. They just rotate round. And then you can see, it's surprising actually how quickly you can get round field with it. But you do need to be able to reverse. We got it, we had it done with galvanising. It was about a few £100 more, but they last forever when they galvanise, so it's a little bit far better.
Worth every penny.
I did actually we wore the bottom of these off a few years ago, and I got some new ones and welded them on in an afternoon. So it's back. But sometimes, this spring we had a really dry spring, and the ground nearly cracks itself. You know, it'll the funny thing with it is, when you do it, you can hardly put your finger in. And then after about 10 days or a fortnight, if it's kept drying it out, you can put your hand in. You know, it opens it up that much. In fact, you haven't to overdo it, because you know, you can get the grass burning up if you're not careful. Oh, now you've reminded me of another point actually here. This was what was always known as the striker.
This is the striker. We were discussing this one. So there's another waterfall a little further up, isn't there?
Yeah.
But this is a striker.
But this was always the striker. It's not as spectacular as it was. It's kind of crept back upstream a bit from when we were younger. It used to have its own little amphitheatre. I don't know who put the swing there.
Oh wow. But, let's break out of that mode and just have a proper look. Because, yeah, it does seem a little different now.
Well, Striker, it comes back. It's back to the Vikings. The Striker was the last sort of waterfall going upstream where you couldn't get your boat up. So you obviously you to strike anchor at that point. That's how they got the term strike. I don't think there were any longboats coming anywhere near this far up Pendleton.
No,
unless we've suffered a lot of climate change in the meantime. But that's the origin of the term, apparently.
Oh, there we are. Look, it's up to someone there.
Oh, there's a good picture of it.
Yeah.
It was good for sailing toy boats on.
But I remember this is very slatey, isn't it, on this side? Let's have a little spin around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for getting skimmers.
We're probably standing over.
Wow. Oh, are we dangling above? No,
yeah,
we're okay
if we
here.
disappear in a great hurry, that's where I've gone. But yeah, should be all right.
Wow, look at those roots.
Yeah, massive. Everything runs a long way on.
Oh look, we've got some sheep as little. Oh,
Redwoods.
So that is one of the sort of historic parts of the village, really, for us as kids.
So,
yeah. Well, it's a sort of.
Well, we used to dam the brook up, and when we did somewhere up the Dean, we managed to get about 2 breaststrokes in at one time, one summer. That was quite good. It was
exceptional.
It was in decline by the time the following winter, because I'd gone to the grammar school and we were doing cross-country running, and we used to kind of run round this way occasionally and back into the village. And my mother would give us a bag of, or hand everybody out some jelly beans if she was at home, which was a bit different, I suppose. But it gave me a chance to show off the civil engineering work of the previous summer on the way back down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I did one in the Dean. And then, I don't know if you were there, but were you there when Charlie came sledging with us one evening?
Oh, yes.
And I just didn't stop and went into the brook, into my own dam.
Yeah. Well, I'll never forget coming down, sledging down here. And occasionally, we had a sledge called the Dragster for some reason, but it was a longer sort of sledge.
Yeah, I remember the red one, yeah.
There were some other sledges that Dad had made, which were quite good. And then, but what people would often do, and I can remember Stephen and Ian Gildo coming with the sort of some cushions off a sofa and then putting a plastic fertiliser bag around them. And they were great entertainment because they didn't have much control and they'd spin round and go all over. So it was, they were entertaining and fun. And it was one of those things. But I think I can remember Brian climbing in, hitting on the idea that if he didn't sail down on one of these plastic bags, he could actually get in one, he might go faster. And the idea worked very well until we were stood at the top of the slope. And then as he was getting nearer the bottom, he started screaming, and we realised that he couldn't actually put his hands out or do anything to stop himself. And he shot over the end and into the brook.
Yes!
Why this is funny, I don't know. But yeah, it was absolutely...
Oh, man.
But some of this experiment of youth, you try things out and see if it works, and sometimes you win and sometimes you lose.
I remember one year someone had put some old water skis in the skip, which we'd found. I think it might have been Frank Taylor or someone like that. Yeah. And so we took them into the field over here, and I think Roger had got the 3-wheeler at the time, the 200 ATC, So got the piece of rope on the back of it. 3, 2, 1, like that. And then when it got a little bit of grip.
I'd always remember the skip coming to Pendleton because it would come usually one week during the summer. And what would happen is it'd arrive at sort of 9 o'clock on the Monday morning, and it would fill up evenly till about 11 o'clock or midday. And then it would start going down as people started raiding it for all sorts of things. And there were pots and pans and teapots and all sorts of things that were taken off into dens all over the village and under hedgerows and everywhere. And they're probably still there for all I know.
It was a second Christmas.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
I think it's too expensive now, or I don't know what the health and safety don't like it or something, but that's just how it is.
Oh, does it not come anymore?
No, it hasn't come for years. Mind you, people have green bins and blue bins and red bins and everything else.
Oh, yeah. I
don't know how we're going up here, but anyway.
No, anyways. Well, we'll have a look at this other little waterfall, see if that's still there.
Oh, yeah, that'll be there.
I think that's worked its way back as well, has it?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it moved. I don't think it's moved back as far as the other one. But it's a bit like Niagara in mini effect. It just keeps working its way back. quite green this time. I mean, sometimes we've had frost and cold weather, and it's kind of browned off all the ground by now. But it's not happened this time yet.
Had any deep freeze yet, really?
No, but there's plenty of time yet, so I'm not tempting fate.
Yeah, it's not even January yet, is it?
No. No, but the funny thing is, I'm finding you start measuring things back in time and projecting forward, you know, so you think, oh, it's so long since you left school, or so long since you did this, and then you look forward and you think, well, you know, you'll be about 83 by the time.
Well, yeah.
Oh, there it is, yes, yeah.
Here it is. So has this got a name?
Not that I know of. It was quite deep, though. If you were paddling up as children, you could get quite a long way down in there, because obviously the effect of the water going down filled it out.
But yeah, I mean, for Pendleton, that's a massive drop. There's one near Whitwell's, isn't there, near the bridge?
Yes.
Which I've never been down to be fair, but I've seen it.
There's one or two smaller versions of this type of thing up if you go up and round, but you know, it's forming a natural sort of. It's the thing with the brook was, even in summer, it was always cold because it's running off the hill, isn't it? It's never going to be warm, even in the sunshine. But it didn't deter people from having a paddle anyway.
No, you've got to get in there, haven't you? Well, I'll tell you what, I won't walk up there, but I'll have a little shoot up to the bomb hole, which was probably never a bomb hole, really, was it? But
I think it's been a quarry. I think it looks like stone's been deliberately quarried out of it, because there's kind of a track round the side.
Yeah, like an entrance at the side, isn't it? This would be the entrance round here, wouldn't it? This sort of path.
And then sort of down along here. But I'm imagining we're going back to the days of horses and carts.
Yeah. But it's always, it was actually quite good fun for sledging, because you didn't have to walk as far to get back up, did you?
No.
You know, especially down to that bit there.
There was a sort of stone at one side, wasn't it? I think that's kind of gone now, but it was kind of so you could get your sledge to ramp off the side of it. But you needed plenty of snow in the bottom to land on. That was always the thing.
Yeah, and then there's, look at Pendle. Oh, you can't see it from here. It's got like a...
Oh, it's got a bit of a glow.
Yeah. And what's the story behind the tree over here?
Ah, right. Well, yeah, the one in the field.
Yeah.
It was, I think, I'm trying to remember the actual surname of the people who had it, but the farm was, there's a plaque on the inside, and it says to his son on his 21st birthday.
Oh,
He's obviously planted a tree to mark the occasion.
It's nicely...
It's still there, obviously.
Very nicely walled, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, if you look, Wilcox Farm, the bottom, some of the fields further down, they still have walls. You know, some of it was obviously walled. Whether that was beneficial or not, I'm not altogether sure sometimes. But anyway.
Yeah,
and then you've got that stone there. That's one of the famous stones that you get around this part of the world. The story was always that the devil had... The hill there, sort of before you get to the big end, is called Apron Full Hill, isn't it? And
is that right?
The story always was that the devil was walking along, and he decided to throw some rocks out of his apron at Clitheroe Castle, which is the origin of supposedly the hole in the side of the castle. And then his apron broke, and all the rocks fell down around the area, like that one. And you get them. I presume they left over from the Ice Age after the last glacier went through, actually. Sorry to spoil the stuff, but that, and who knows, we weren't there.
Well, demonic involvement's much more fun to think about,
so that's how that came about. And you do find them around the place. But, and there was an old story, I'm just trying to think, was it something like Ingleborough, Pendle Hill and Penigent are highest hills twixt Tees and Trent, which leaves Whernside out, but Whernside's a bit more anonymous sometimes. And that's been the days before they were measuring the height of them, I presume.
Yeah.
But Pendle isn't as high, but it's just a large mass.
When you look back from that sort of area and see Pendle, it does look really big, doesn't it? Because it's just sat on its own.
Well, the funny thing is, we used to buy some sheep off a chap called Robert Crisp up at Malham, and we'd sometimes go and buy some off him at home. And the first thing you see from there is Pendle Hill. It's massive. And even though we tend to look that way. I mean, I did run at Pendle Hill when we were at school, because I thought I always be able to say I've done it then, but up to the big end. The only thing we hadn't noticed was it was a Friday afternoon. School had actually finished at midday because it was the end of the term. Anyway, it was done. I was first back, just only because we ran across the playing field at High Moor to make sure I was first back. Oh dear. Like a lot of these things, it seemed to work
smart. Yeah. Good grammar school education.
Well, what was it? I was thinking, they had what was the Irish playwright, George Bernard Shaw? He said something about, the reasonable man. The reasonable man tries to adapt himself to the world, whereas the unreasonable man persists in adapting the world to himself. Therefore, he said, all progress is made by the unreasonable man. Which is one way of looking at it.
It's very good, yes.
I think it was George Bernard Shaw.
He had a cracking beard and a pipe.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that was
I think he claimed to have invented communism and something else as well, so I don't think his tales will. Anyway, there you are.
Oh, dear. So what's this place now, then?
It's Tracknology, the chap that had it, or has it, Mr. Pate. And he has these sort of tracking vehicles that if you're putting your sort of, Highland electricity cable up or whatever, you'll hire some of these things to do the job, tracking up and down glens and anywhere else they go. The sort of things they take to the Antarctic for doing work down there.
Substantial bits of kit, there.
Yeah.
Got a few of them by the look of it as well.
Well, I think he has a base somewhere else as well.
Was it just storage, maybe, there?
I think so. I've never been in, actually. I've never had reason to.
He's got a fox on his weathercock. His weather vane.
Yeah. I'm sure there used to be sheep on the weather vane there, and then Grandad always wanted a weather vane, and there was a sheep put on the one at Spring House, and then I don't know whether that didn't change after that. It might not have done. It might just be my imagination. I think there was something like that.
Yeah.
All these ash trees now have got this ash dieback syndrome, though, so they're all struggling, really. You see some of them around the countryside now, and they're kind of, well, I would say extreme pollard. They kind of lopped all the branches off. But in a way, that's probably better than them falling off and doing some damage.
Well, yeah, I guess, does that mean it just gives more sustenance to the good ones at the top?
Well, it's probably partly to do with the you can't just go around chopping trees up and down.
Yeah.
And, also, we're in kind of a conservation area in parts of the village, and there's all that kind of thing. Not that it made any difference when the branch fell off and crushed your courtesy courser one night. Keith rang you up, I think.
I just thought it was a genuine wind-up.
I think the question was, can you get the boot open? Why? Well, the beer's in the boot.
Yes. Oh, the concerns of the
Oh dear.
Oh, dearie me. Oh.
This is the hardcore that came from Mr. Snarky. Brought it from Townhead when they were doing it up years ago.
Oh, right. Have you got a home for it yet, or has it just been used for patching stuff up over the years?
Yeah. Well, this building project's taking forever and a day, but we keep using hardcore on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's handy. It's just around the corner, isn't it? This. Oh, and then we've got what's this thing's name then?
It's the Keep. It's known as the Keep.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And it's.
I remember climbing up those steps when I was little.
Right.
And when you get to the top one, you realise there's no handles or anything like that.
No.
So you've just got to gingerly walk.
Yeah, it's a thing of purpose.
I suppose it becomes a bit more usable because it was a tiny little thing inside.
Yeah, well, it's one of those. It's like a lot of some buildings. They're neither one thing nor the other. They have a specialist purpose, but once that purpose isn't either being used or whatever, but they're better. I think it's better to see something done with them than falling down.
Yeah.
So the Onfolds. Well, anyway.
Well, there you go.
There's many adventures up there. It was good for winter and summer entertainment, I suppose.
An all-rounder.
Yeah.
A good all-round. Oh, in fact, I think I might walk through the gates on video as well. There we go. So the whole of Doom, which you've been through.
Yes, I went first, and I think James and Philip followed, and Keith followed them up. Well, that will be 30. I think it was 1995. I think it was a dry summer, and the water had dried up.
I don't know, how dark does it get? Is it proper like pitch black?
Proper dark. Yeah, it's just crawling one sort of hand in front of the other.
Whoa!
I don't think I'd do it again. I don't know what the idea was really, but anyway. Probably like running up Pendle. Then you can say you've done it.
Yeah. Well, you've done it, haven't you? So it's
Oh dear. Yeah. So there's the bridge across.
It's the sort of thing that gives me nightmares. I don't know what it is. I can handle narrow gaps and things. It's a low ceiling.
Well, I've never fancied this sort of. They all go caving, don't they, in the Dales? And, what do they call it? What's the word?
Cave diving is the scary one.
And it just doesn't appeal to me at all. the idea of crawling into a small gap where it might flood you from above if it rains very hard seems a bit crackers. But I suppose it's entertainment. Well, it is entertainment.
Well, it's when you go through a gap where the gap's got to pull you through because it's that narrow.
I mean, I've been into Ingleborough Cave and White Scar Caves, and we did the ones Stumpcross Caverns in Nidderdale as well.
Oh,
but they're kind of, you can walk in and there's lights and you can walk out again. It's a different thing.
We did White Scar. There's actually a low bit there, isn't there? Where you have to duck down a bit.
Yeah. We went up to go into the caves about 1983, and it was, I think it was September holidays, but it rained all the way over, and because it was so wet, obviously you couldn't go in the caves, but we walked up the waterfalls at Ingleton instead, and we got a spectacular view of the waterfalls, because obviously they were good.
It was great, yeah.
And you get to Thornton Force at the top,
yeah.
which kept everybody entertained.
Well, it's so noisy as well when that's going, isn't it?
Yeah. But there was quite a lot of crisscrossing of the waterfalls and whatever. We went up there with the Americans when they came as well. I think that's the last time I walked up there.
So, we'll take you to Niagara. You're like, yeah.
Well, we did do Niagara. We did do Niagara.
Did you?
There. Yeah, when we because we flew to Toronto, and then because it was cheaper or whatever for a group, and then we stayed in Toronto for a night, and then we went to Niagara for a night, and then we went to Long Island and went into New York for a few days, and then we went to Chicago after that. I can remember the last hay going into the barn there one year, and I was sat on the trailer, and it was John Eddie's trailer, or well, it might have been our trailer, but it was John Eddie's tractor, and then people were shouting at me to get off the trailer because it started running away down the front there.
Oh no!
And it did actually. There's a mark in the end of the wall down at Post Office Row where it collided with the wall. I think it wasn't too badly damaged, but I could have been. I could have been. Yeah.
Oh God! Oh.
And they wonder why they all complain about health and safety legislation. Ah, dear. I remember we came to midnight service at church, and it had actually snowed one year, and got to about nearly midnight, and suddenly there was this great thundering and reverberating of noise, and I did just kind of half wonder what it was. And what it was, of course, because everybody had gone into the church half an hour earlier and warmed it up. The snow had decided it was going to slide off the church roof at that point.
Oh, really?
So,
God.
Well, that was the explanation for this this noise.
Oh well.
It's
I haven't done
the
midnight.
off these
they've
been
been
stolen
nicked?
about a month or two ago.
God.
My mother came to open the church one morning, and because she was doing it at the time, and she completely missed the fact that they'd gone. It was only about 4 o'clock in the afternoon when Keith said to me, "Look,
Looks a
they've
bit
taken the
naked,
tops off the
doesn't it?
stairs."
You're like, what do you think? Where they're going to use them?
Well, my mother said she walked past and there was the sort of a bit of dust and stuff on the floor, but completely missed the fact that they'd gone with it.
Got a nice.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Look. Yeah.
Yeah.
So see how windy it is there, actually, can't you?
Yeah.
I suppose you're right next to it.
Sounds state of affairs, really. I think the conservation area ends after the school. It ends between the school and the church and the vicarage.
Oh right, okay.
I think that's it then.
So is that why there's really been no development in the village itself, but you have up here?
I could say all sorts of things about development in the village, but yeah, it's you see what we call the bungalows, and which have all now been kind of redone to one extent or another, were already here when we were growing up, weren't they?
Yeah. I think the earliest I can remember the top one was at Paul family, wasn't there?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Who were a bit sort of a bit crazy and rebellious for our tastes.
Well, quite often you get people coming to school for a year or so because they were sort of taking part in something, and then, young families have moved to the village for a year or two before they can get some accommodation somewhere else. Because it wasn't on the way to anywhere, and you had to, no shops, and you're struggling for transport and all the rest of it. So it was like, but that's all turned round in more recent years when people have decided it's a desirable place to
let's get away from it all.
park up.
But
I can remember coming up to vicarage garden parties in the summer.
they were ace.
Yeah, they were. And they always had that croquet game thing, which we had to play, and all that kind of thing.
And the trifling cakes, I seem to remember that kind of thing.
Well, I remember the WI always did very well for us, especially at Christmas, because they'd have a Christmas party in the village hall with the jelly and plastic spoons for everything.
Yes, yeah.
And then we'd always go to the Trinity,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Pantomime, which was good as well. So
why I do attribute that It's been one of the reasons I was so keen to start playing piano and keyboard, because you remember the organist at that?
Yes.
He used to have this great organ.
Yeah, they did,
and it could do
didn't they?
everything.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what is that wonderful machine?
It's a long time since I went to one of those. They were good. Nowadays, I know people go off all over the place to pantomimes.
Yeah.
Mind you, we go to Ingleton every year and have done for about 20 years, no more than that.
Oh, here it is. So I guess when we were little, it was John Colling here, wasn't it?
Yeah, Derek Leyland had been the vicar, and he's still around. And he was the vicar when I was sort of christened, but of course I don't remember that.
There we go. Well, I met them all because, I don't know what it was, with George being a sidesman at the church. Florence always used to invite Derek Leyland round and
Yes.
the people who came before.
Well, almost everybody seemed to be a sidesman at one time. They seem to have quite a lot of them.
It's like a rite of passage, isn't it?
You know.
Well,
Richard Collins was, and
Richard
John Edie
was.
was.
A long time, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess
I think
Nick is now, isn't he?
Mr. Yeah. And Trevor Holt at the bottom,
Oh, right.
where
Yeah,
Bill Marsden
yeah.
was.
And here's the old, well, the new looking. Let's get out of the way of these people. There we go.
Well, we'll find a different way around. These are some concrete panels and different ones down different places.
Hello.
Oh,
Sorry. So what's this one? Is this pub meadow, this one?
yes. Yeah, there were 2 fields here at one time. Well, it had been 2 fields, I think. The trees are on the original sort of, what would have been the original fence line, I imagine.
So, was it Edie Oddie's when did you have the pub then?
They'd have it. I don't know how long ago it was the pub's meadow, but anyway, that's what it. You see, it was quite common for lots of inns and things to have somewhere, because if people were stopping, they'd want somewhere to graze their
Well, yeah.
horse overnight
Yeah,
and all that kind of. There's a really good in the Brook Inn in Bookton. There was a really good framed bill of sort of account from about 1820, and it's kind of a printed one, and it lists how many people have stopped and how much ale they've had and how much food and how much hay for the horses and how many cattle stopped overnight, and it lists, there's about 20 items on it.
Oh, wow.
And I've often thought I should go back and pay more attention to it, but I haven't been for about 15 or 20
Oh,
years.
that's a really cool thing to have, isn't it? I mean,
And it's obviously relating to the Brook Inn at Bookton.
yeah. Oh, it's a cracking location for a pub, that as well, because it's quite high up in the village, looking over the valley to Hubberholme, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, well, that's another good one at Hubberholme, the George Inn there. Went
Yes.
for a bar snack there once. That was a good night.
Hello, is it? Oh, we're going down. Didn't mean to do that.
These ash trees always drop a tremendous number of boughs and branches into the field, which you end up picking up every time. But it's
This is why we need Florence for getting the twigs.
probably picked up more branches and weight of wood out of it than they've ever grown, but
Can we hear something over there? Is it?
I can.
Is that Keith?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I tell you what.
Sounds like something up Pendle.
Should
Or
we,
on Pendle Road.
should we go and have a look? Ooh.
There might be something moving in the top of Mrs. Blazer's field, I'm not sure. There is, I think there's something moving.
Oh, is it
There's
a digger over there or something? Yeah.
There's somebody there. I can see a yellow jacket.
Oh, I'm getting a strong wind alert. Shall I? I'll see if I can get up there. Might come down a little bit. Oh, no, it's a long way to walk if it drops out of the sky.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's bring it back.
The bracken's spreading on Pendle more than it used to do now. But then they used to come and scythe it down, didn't they, every so often, and look for bombs. Well, those 2-inch mortars that they dropped in.
Oh, right, yeah. Never found a bomb. I found lots of shells though.
Yeah.
Bullets.
I think it was the lead flights from them that were more of a danger to sheep and things, poisoning themselves on them after a while. But you hear them blowing them up periodically. But I think it was the explosive they put with them to make sure they weren't banged though, rather than the actual things themselves. But I mean, how long is it since they last came and did that? Probably about 30 years.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, how long have the bombs sort of remain active for? Whee!
Back again.
There we are. So is that little lane over there?
Yeah, that's the way they used to go up to Mrs. Pleasant's field.
Yeah.
There. But it's kind of grown in quite a lot lately. You know,
I
it's surprising how quickly it did grow in. Really, I think we struggle to get up with anything other than yourself now.
Because there was that one that went from the corner of the Lidget at the top of Edie's field. It went straight up to Freddie's farm.
Well, that was the original route to Wanders, wasn't it?
Oh, is that what it was?
It's only I think when they got milk tankers and things coming in the 20th century, they started going up the track to that is there now. Well, that's the impression I get anyway. Because but there is a map from way back when, 1750 or something, and it shows the road to Pendle going from there, kind of up there, and then doglegging across. Before it was kind of the Pendle road on the far side. I always find these things a little bit fascinating, really. We did come across something at the Lancashire Archives at Preston, and I think your dad went with us one night when we were with the History Society. And it had, I think it was a land tax from about 1820, but it had some of the field names listed for Pendleton. And we thought we must go back and have a look at that.
Yeah.
We never got there yet.
Well, it'd be interesting to hear where, there's Goosegate and Grinnell. I don't know if you know that one's down not far from your farm. You know
Yeah,
you know the one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the look of the old road. Look.
We went to something. They had some records out at Whalley, and it was just before COVID, I think, one Sunday afternoon, and they were having the Pickwick afternoon as well at the same time. It's quite busy, but they had some old maps, and they had a map showing that big area of land that used to be down near Billy's called the Ardle. Or it was always described as the Ardle. Well, all I could find was this. This is typical of what happens around here. All I could find on this map was an area saying Hard Hill.
Yes, well, that's so it's called Hard Hill.
And then you realise, of course, that Hard Hill is exactly what it was called. It's just that people called it Ardle, sort of Ardle.
Well, we used to go get the cows off it, and I'd go down on a yellow 35, which he used for scraping out.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh God. And when you're 14 or 15, obviously you go a little bit too fast in third gear, and you're bouncing around.
Seems like
well, that's where the Roman road goes through there as well.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I think somebody was showing me a bit of Pendleton the other year that showed a sort of almost like a Roman quarter fort, and the field looked like it was divided into, well, or more like a croft really, divided into four, heading off towards Mealy direction. And it probably would have been, because if you think logically, if they've arrived at the Ribchester down there and you want to signal through your area to the Air Gap, then the next stop is going to be just along the side of this hill here. So it would be perfectly logical for it to have been there.
Yeah. Ooh.
And the tree came down at the corner of into the churchyard about a month ago, maybe more than that
really?
now probably, and it managed to avoid the angel and various other things. It did some damage, but if it had landed almost anywhere else, it would have done more damage probably.
The angel just over here, or is it just...
Yeah, it would have been there.
Yeah. Oh, it does seem a lot lighter somehow.
You've got more of space there now than what.
Still got the old boys' toilet walkway there.
We'll always think of it that way, won't we? That's the thing.
I was driving past it a couple of days ago, and Mum goes, "Oh, you should put the wall up there." I'm just thinking, I used to run around there for a wee. And just to show what we're talking about, it's this bit of a wall round the side. I thought I could hear a car then.
Yeah, I think they're all right. So, the churchyard.
Yeah. It always seems a lot bigger inside than outside this place, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I suppose you remember things as you first remember them, which is obviously a lot bigger. We always used to have to sit on the pew at the back so we couldn't turn around and talk to anybody.
Yeah, stop misbehaving. Yeah, look, I mean, it's sort of...
It's quite substantial, isn't it? On top of the flagpole. That went up in 1997, and it wasn't up very long before somebody hit the flag. There is a picture with somebody's wedding on or something, and you can just see the old sort of wooden building that was there before their village hall.
Yeah, I mean, I used to get told it was the Institute and it was in here, and Couldn't never visualise it. Yeah.
I think it burnt down. Somebody had a snooker table and somebody put the heating on in the afternoon and it
just burnt it down.
It burnt down.
Oh.
I don't know whether somebody said it was Dick Thistlethwaite had put it on, but I might be doing him a disservice. I have no idea what happened.
I know that
it might just be a colourful tale that went with its demise.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there used to be snooker tables at the village hall, didn't there? Didn't they have one in the back room?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess it probably went out of fashion for a while, didn't it? And then,
well, yeah, but I mean, we were quite into snooker when we were growing up. But then you'd kind of come in with the colour television, and they were quite popular, and you knew all the snooker players. It's not very long since Ray Reardon died, and Ray Reardon was obviously only about 42 when I first knew, despite the fact that he seemed like an old chap.
Well, yeah, and he brought it. Him and Higgins and Mountjoy and that lot brought it into the sort of modern era, and then Davis made it boring for 10 years.
Well,
I still remember being at Manchester University watching the final when Hendry was pummeling Jimmy White yet again in the final, writing you a note saying, "Here we go again."
Jimmy White was in the final year after year after year and never seemed to quite win.
I think he lost it 4 or 5 times, didn't he? Having been up many times. So, what do you know about this place on the left then?
Well, where to start, really? It's got a very good summer house these days. I'm impressed with that.
Oh, yeah, it's
excellent.
Marvellous sunset observatory.
Yeah.
So what's that diagonal line up there?
Well, it looks like it's been the roof, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I kind of think. Like an adjoining something or other. And you can see all the window frames where they've obviously had windows in the past.
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot to it, really.
I mean, it's certainly... Is it one of the oldest in the village, isn't it?
I'm told it was the original manor house, or the original site of the original manor house, but I don't know.
Well, it's got the
but
nice
obviously, it is actually fair. If you were first here and you were positioning your house, it faces directly south, and this end is directly north. And
so all the cellar and stuff like that, the cool rooms are on this side, yeah.
But you see, apparently, whenever they surfaced the road or tarmacked it originally or whatever, there was a hill here, and they took the hill off, I'm told, to make the road smoother. But you can see where the base of the house has been originally.
Oh, is that what it was?
And I always think it strikes me as being quite a long way out of the ground now. It hasn't moved anywhere.
It's almost it's certainly. Well, it stops down by the barn door, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, obviously the barn will be a later add-on.
Is that a more modern addition?
Well, I think this is an awful long way out of the... If you look at this, you're the best part of 3 or 4 feet out of the ground. 2 or 3 feet out of the ground. You know, if that was ground level, you'd see you'd gone down an awfully long way. Really.
Yeah, that's a good 2.5 feet, isn't it?
Because obviously there was a doorway there at one time, and then it's there's been various windows. Whether these are to do with window taxes and various other things in the past, I don't know.
I mean, what was the window tax?
Hey, don't speak too loudly, they'll invent another one.
And yet another barn we've filled many times?
Yes.
So whose idea was to put the castellation on the top of that? That's very...
Dave Holdsworth did it.
It's very jolly, isn't it?
When they were redone about 15 years ago.
Oh, well.
Something like that.
I'll have a look at the weather vane.
Yeah, well, the weather vane's due to be restored, but part of the building project is when we get the cherry popper picker, we were going to have it.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to be up there in a ladder.
Well, the last time I put the flag up there, I thought you're only going to fall off this one, William, once. So
that's quite a jolly sort of.
It can make its own way down, but it does need doing. But anyway, it'll be done when it can be done safely.
Yeah, yeah.
Without me coming off it.
Get a nice loving shot over the village, although it's quite dark. This is what I was saying earlier. The village, as soon as the sun gets a bit low, it just turns into a dark pit.
Yeah, well, we had some dark days last week. I mean, obviously it's the darkest time of the year, but if you get a bright sunny day, it's not so bad. And if you get a day when it's sort of overcast or cloudy, it can be... I mean, one day last week it was virtually dark from 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It felt like it. But it does give the Christmas lights the chance to do something themselves, so I suppose you've got that.
You'd never seen them otherwise, would you? We can see one little
they weren't when we were growing up. You'd get Christmas lights on people's trees, but they really weren't sort of spread around at the front of the houses.
No, you never saw anything outside, did you?
No, not really. I suppose in these days with LEDs and all that kind of thing, it's like altered a little bit.
And I think in the old days you had the if one bulb goes, the circuit's broken sort of issue, didn't you? Which was a...
Which way are we heading back? The Gill?
Yeah, let's go to the Gill. Just